What up, everybody? Welcome back to KnobHead Football. Today we got a scouting report on Desmond, new quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons, drafted in the 3rd round out of Cincinnati. Going to go through his strengths, weaknesses, player comparisons, some of my favorite and least favorite plays from him. So here are his stats from last season. Didn't really lead in any categories among the top guys, but pretty solid all around, both throwing and rushing the ball. So we're going to go through his strengths and weaknesses. First strength, pretty quick recognition, both of the defense, and fairly quick going through his reads. I think he's a pretty smart quarterback, so we'll go through a couple examples of that. So this first one against UCF, this is just going to be going through his reads. You'll see him look left, look middle, and then come back right on the dig for the first down. Here's another angle on that same throw, just showing his eyes, looking left, come back to the middle, it's covered, go back to the right for the first down. Clean pocket on that one, but pretty nice going through his progressions there. Here's one against Murray State, the Racers. Shout out John Morant. He's going to use the motion to identify his zone coverage, and he's going to drive back and deliver a really nice ball between the safeties there, throwing that post in between the zones. Here's a nice angle on it. Just putting that ball on the rope between two safeties for the TD there. Another strength, generally makes good decisions. You don't see too many examples where he's just making a terrible decision or terrible read. Next, pretty good footwork in the pocket. Here's an example of that against Notre Dame. It's going to be play action. Just watch him flip his hips pretty quickly, get his feet set. This ball is going to be incomplete on the post, but he's got pressure coming. Just able to flip his hips pretty quickly and get set to make that throw. Pretty nice footwork on that one. Another strength, slides well in pocket, so more pocket movement. Something he's pretty good at, just pocket presence in general. Here's an example of him just sliding his feet to buy himself a little more time. He's going to just drift back, drift to the left, deliver a nice ball to the post. This one's going to be caught for a big gain. But yeah, just watch the footwork on this. Just backing up, buying a little time to deliver that deep throw for the big gain. He's also pretty strong in the pocket. He's able to stand in when he knows pressure's coming. So here's a couple examples of that. This one against Notre Dame, 3rd and 10. You got to have a first down. He's going to get pressure off the edge. Just going to stand in there and deliver a nice strike to Alec Pierce on that curl. There's another angle. The edge pressure, step up slightly, and just stand in there. Another example of that against SMU. This time he's going to have pressure pretty much right in his face. He's going to see it coming. He's going to have time to pump fake and deliver a nice ball down the field. Another angle on that pressure right in his face. Pump fakes, knows he's going to get hit, and delivers a nice ball down to the 1-yard line. Another strength for Ritter. Pretty good size and athleticism combo there. He's about 6'3", 6'4", pretty good speed, ran a 4.5 40. So here's some of that athleticism. Read option keep. He's going to stumble a little bit, but he's got the speed, that long stride once he gets moving. It's hard to catch him. Another angle on that. Able to pull that ball. Again, like I said, stumble a little bit, but he's got the speed to make it all the way to the end zone. 4th and 1, and takes it for a 40-yard touchdown. Here's a play showing just his versatility. Nothing crazy on this one, but just going to be a Philly special and is going to get a receiving touchdown here. Last strength on this list, pretty good leader. Everything you hear, either from the broadcasts or from the coaches or his teammates, everybody says he's a pretty good leader, vocal leader in the locker room. So always good to see your potential franchise quarterback to be a good leader. Some of his weaknesses, by far my biggest concern with him, just inconsistent accuracy. I don't think he has bad mechanics, so I think it's something he could potentially improve on. We'll see, but this is definitely my main issue with his game. Another, just average arm strength. Not good, not terrible. Not saying he can't throw the deep ball, but he's not going to be like a Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes where you're just so fearful he's just going to throw the ball over your safeties every play. Kind of hand in hand with the accuracy and the arm strength. Often underthrows the deep ball. Here's a couple examples of that. This one's going to be against Miami of Ohio. Deep ball down at the bottom to Alec Pierce here. Just going to underthrow it a little bit. Receiver's not going to have a chance to make a play. And it's not a super far throw. 50 yards about. So you'd like to see him put that ball out in front instead behind. Receiver doesn't have a chance to make a play in the end zone. So while he can tend to underthrow the deep ball, a lot of times he overthrows balls over the middle, which is a dangerous place to overthrow the ball. But here are a couple examples of that. This one against East Carolina. I mentioned the good footwork. Doesn't have it on this play. This doesn't happen too often. Just kind of a weird drop on this one. Just kind of drifting back for really no reason. They have a blitz coming, so I guess that's why he's thinking he's got to buy some time. But if he just stands in here, it's 3rd and 10. He's just throwing the drag, but instead overthrows that drag, and it's intercepted. Here's another one. Here's one you see a lot. This one's going to be an RPO slant, and he's just going to put it high. Receiver, Alec Pierce. This is a big receiver, but he's not able to make a play on this. And I understand why he's putting this ball kind of high. He's got to get this over to the linebackers, but you got to give your receiver a chance to make that catch, and you do see that quite often. Another weakness, kind of going along with the arm strength, dangerous field side throws. So when he's got to make these long throws across the field like this one here, sometimes he can just leave that ball in the air a little too long. This one's dangerous. Lucky to be incomplete here. It could have been a pick six against Notre Dame on this one. This is a big game too. You're at the end of the half. You don't want to swing momentum here. Nearly pick six on that one. Just a long throw across the field. Here's another example of that same thing against South Florida. It's going to be a curl on the far side. This one's going to be tipped and intercepted and taken all the way back for the touchdown. Whenever he's got to make these long throws across the field, sometimes he can leave that ball up a little too long, not get it there with a ton of velocity. Luckily for him in the NFL, the hashes are more narrow, so you don't have to make as many of those super long throws across the field. But just showing how, not really his lack of arm strength, but he doesn't have that top level arm strength to get those long throws there with really high velocity. Alright, now some player comparisons. Ironically, the first one on the list is his new teammate and competitor, I guess you could say, Marcus Mariota. And then Daniel Jones and Ryan Tannehill. All similar style players where they can beat you with their arm or their legs, but they all kind of have some accuracy issues. So those are all good comparisons, I think, in my mind. Career projection. Similar to the player comparisons, replaceable starter or a top tier backup. So I think if he can improve his accuracy, which he's shown a lot of improvement throughout his college career, so I do think that's within reach for him. But I just see him as kind of a replaceable level starter, maybe an average starter or a top tier backup. I think he's one of those guys where, kind of like a Mariota, Daniel Jones, or Tannehill, where you don't hate to have him as your starting quarterback. He's better than having an awful guy there, but he's a guy I think you're going to have to build your team around him, kind of like they did with Cincinnati, where he's not going to necessarily take your team over the top, but he can be a nice piece to a good team. Or a top-tier backup where if he's your backup quarterback, he's a good leader, he's a smart guy. If he can't be a starter in the league, I could see him being one of the top backups for a long time. So now we're going to get into my favorite and my least favorite play from Desmond Ridder this past season. This is my favorite play here against East Carolina. It's going to be 3rd and 12 inside his own 10-yard line. Just the pocket movement, this kind of shows everything. See him slide again, nice spin, roll out to the right, reset, and deliver a nice throw on the run. Like I said, this is kind of everything you want to see out of Desmond Ridder. Slides in the pocket, nice spin, and delivers really a strike on the run there for the first down on 3rd and 12. My least favorite play, also inside the 10-yard line, 2nd and 7 against Navy. This one's just a weird play. He's trying to hit this flat to a tight end and just going to be a really risky throw here. He's going to underthrow it. Probably shouldn't have thrown it at all. Should have been a pick six there. Also, you're up by 17 in the 4th quarter. This could be a huge momentum swing for Navy here. If they're able to get a pick six, quick 7, cut this to a 10-point game in the 4th quarter. But yeah, it's really risky throw. Very lucky that wasn't a pick six on that one. That's going to do it for my Desmond Ridder scouting report. I think he has a chance to play a lot this year. I don't really see the Falcons winning too many games. I think if the Falcons do want to win games, right now Marcus Mariota is their best option, but I could see them a few games into the season, maybe midway through the season, if their record's pretty bad, which I expect it to be, they might as well put Ridder out there, so he might get some valuable playing time. But I think sitting behind Marcus Mariota is pretty good for him. The Falcons don't really have to change up their offense. They got 2 really similar players. And I think learning from a guy with a similar skill set is always good. And Marcus Mariota seems like a good teammate. So pretty good situation for him overall, considering he's on a fairly bad team in my opinion. But yeah, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoy. Keep an eye out for more scouting reports in the future. And yeah, see you in the next one.